Hello students, in this class we are going to discuss about the topic distortion in amplifiers. So first of all, what is meant by distortion? The distortion is deviation from the original output. We can generally say like that. If you see the definition for the distortion in amplifier basically the variation in the waveform received at output with respect to the applied input. So in general, the input signal and output signal should be same with respect to the shape of the waveform. But if there is any change with respect to the shape of the waveform between input and output, then that is called as distortion. The unwanted alternations that are generated during the amplification is known as distortion. So in this class we are going to discuss about the distortion and their causes, how to calculate the distortion in amplifiers. Let us move to our topic, harmonic distortion. The input signal applied to an amplifier is alternating in nature. The basic features of any alternating signals are amplitude, frequency, and phase. So, if there is any change in the output signal, so that is definitely called as a distortion. The signal has the three main properties. Those are amplitude, frequency, and phase. Therefore, the possible distortions that may occur in amplifiers are amplitude distortion, frequency distortion, and phase distortion. These three may come in amplifiers. As we discussed, the three types of distortions, amplitude, frequency, and phase, the phase distortions cannot be able to recognize by the humans. So we can neglect that phase distortions. So let us move to the frequency distortion. If the amplitude or the gain of an amplifier is changing with respect to the frequency is called as a frequency distortion. But in audio frequency amplifiers, the frequency distortion is not significant. The main type of distortions that are occurring in all types of an amplifier, including our large signal amplifier, is amplitude distortion. In ideal case, the dynamic characteristics of a transistor is looking like a straight line over the operating range. But in practical circuits, the dynamic characteristics is not linear. Due to such non-linearity in the dynamic characteristics of transistor, the waveform of output voltage differs from the input signal. Such a type of distortions is called non-linear distortion, or it is also called as amplitude distortion or harmonic distortion. So this amplitude distortion has three names. One is a non-linear distortion or amplitude distortion or harmonic distortion. This harmonic distortion plays majority role in audio frequency power amplifiers. Let us see what is harmonic distortion. So, the presence of frequency components in the output waveform which are not present in the input signal. So, those are called as harmonic distortions. The components with the frequency same as the input signal is called as a fundamental signal, and the components which are not present in the input but they are present at the output, those are called as harmonics. The additional frequency components that are present at the output having integer multiples of the fundamental frequency. Suppose in this figure we can observe the sine omega t is a fundamental signal. So these two are the harmonic signals that are present at the output. So the frequencies of these harmonic signals are integers of these fundamental signals. Suppose if you see the fundamental signal has the frequency sine omega t, the second harmonic has the frequency of sine 2 omega t, and the third harmonic has the frequency of sine 3 omega t, and the fourth harmonic may have sine 4 omega t, like that. So we can say if the frequency of the fundamental signal is f, then the second harmonic frequency is 2f, and the third harmonic frequency has 3f, and the fourth harmonic frequency has the frequency of 4f. Out of all these harmonic components, the second harmonic has highest amplitude, and one thing we have to observe here is as the order of harmonic is increasing like 2, 3, 4, the amplitude will decreases. Suppose the higher order harmonic has lowest amplitude and the second order harmonic has a very large amplitude. The second harmonic distortion is more important in the analysis of AF power amplifiers. So in the amplifiers, this distorted waveform is obtained by adding the fundamental frequency and all other harmonic frequency components. Therefore, this distorted waveform is the sum of fundamental frequency plus all harmonic frequency components. Let us assume the amplitude of a fundamental frequency is B1 and amplitude of a nth harmonic is Bn, then the distortion percentage can be given as distortion percentage is equal to Bn divided by B1 into 100, where Bn is the amplitude of nth harmonic and B1 is the amplitude of the fundamental signal. Suppose if you want to get the distortion of second harmonic, then the equation will becomes D2 is equal to B2 by B1 into 100. Similarly, for distortion percentage of sixth harmonic is equal to D6 equal to B6 divided by B1 into 100. In the place of n, we can substitute any number of the harmonic component. Therefore, the total harmonic distortion is given by square root of d2 square plus d3 square plus d4 square and so on into 100. Okay, in these all harmonic distortion components, the second harmonic distortion is more important because it has largest amplitude. So, the second harmonic distortion can be calculated using three-point method. In this graph, we can observe the dynamic characteristics of a transistor. So, the dynamic characteristics of a transistors are non-linear in nature rather than a straight line. So, in general, in ideal, it should be a linear curve, but in practical, it is not a linear curve, it is non-linear curve and it is parabolic in nature. So, because of this non-linearity in nature, we are getting harmonic distortion. Let an AC input signal causes the base current swing, which is cosine in nature. The equation for the base current IB is equal to IBM cos omega t, where IBM is the maximum base current or a DC component. Due to the non-linearity, the relationship between IB and IC can be expressed as IC is equal to G1 IB plus G2 IB square. This can be written as if we replace IB as IBM cos omega t, the equation will becomes G1 into IBM cos omega t plus G2 into IBM square cos square omega t. So we can write the cos square omega t is equal to 1 plus cos 2 omega t by 2 and replacing in the above equation, the IC equation will becomes IC is equal to G1 IBM cos omega t plus G2 IBM square 1 plus cos 2 omega t by 2. And this can be written as G1 IBM cos omega t, and just we are multiplying the terms. So 1 by 2 G2 IBM square plus G2 IBM square cos 2 omega t. So we are assuming that 1 by 2 G2 IBM square as B naught and G1 IBM as B1 and G2 IBM square as B2. Therefore, the equation will becomes like IC is equal to B naught plus B1 cos omega t plus B2 cos 2 omega t. So in this equation, the B2 cos 2 omega t is a second harmonic component. The total collector current waveform is shown in the figure like. So this is a cosine wave. So this can be analyzed using the 3 points. The 3 points are 0, 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So in this waveform, so at 0 we are getting the maximum current, that is I maximum, and at pi 180 degrees we are getting the minimum current, and this IC current is fluctuating on the DC point DC biasing current. The total collector current can be expressed in terms of DC biasing value and DC signal component and the fundamental frequency and the second harmonic frequency as IC is equal to ICQ DC biasing value and the DC component B0 and the fundamental frequency B1 cos omega t and the second harmonic component B2 cos 2 omega t. So you can see like ICQ plus B0 is the DC component that is always present at the output waveform, and B1 is the amplitude of the fundamental frequency and B2 is the amplitude of second harmonic component. So let us calculate the total current at the various points 1, 2, 3 as we already assumed. At the point 1, and assuming omega t is equal to 0 and substituting in the IC equation, IC is equal to ICQ plus B0, which are DC components, plus B1 cos omega t fundamental frequency plus B2 cos 2 omega t, which is the second harmonic component. We get IC is equal to ICQ B0 as it is because it is a DC component that present in all equations, and if you substitute omega t is equal to 0, the cos 0 is 1, therefore it becomes B1, and cos 0, here also the cos terms becomes 0. IC can be written as ICQ plus B0 plus B1 plus B2. So at the second point, which is omega t is equal to pi by 2, if you substitute in the above equation, cos 90 is 0. Therefore, the IC equation will have the DC components plus this term will becomes 0 because the cos 90 is 0, and this will becomes cos 180, so which is minus 1. Therefore, the equation will becomes IC is equal to ICQ plus B0 minus B2. At the point 3, where omega t is equal to pi, which is 180, so the IC equation will becomes IC is equal to ICQ plus B0 DC component as it is. So if you substitute pi here, the cos 180 is minus 1, that's why it is minus B1 plus the cos 360, that is 1. which is B2. But from the figure, we can say when omega t is equal to 0, the value of IC is IC maximum. At omega t is equal to 90 degrees, the value is ICQ. If the omega t is equal to 180 degrees or pi, the value is I minimum. So same thing written here. Omega t is equal to IC maximum. At pi by 2 it is ICQ. At pi it is IC minimum. And these values are substituted in the above equations. We can rewrite the equations like I maximum is equal to ICQ plus B0 plus B1 plus B2. That is equation number 1. And ICQ is equal to ICQ plus B0 minus B2. And at omega t is equal to pi, I minimum is equal to ICQ plus B0 minus B1 plus B2. So from the equation number 2 we can say ICQ, LHS and RHS containing ICQ on both sides, that can be cancelled. So B0 is equal to B2 will occur. So from the equation 2 we can say like B0 is equal to B2. From the equation 1 and 3, I max minus I minimum, which means that we are subtracting equation 1 and equation 3. I max minus I minimum is equal to these two terms. So if you see ICQ will get cancelled, B0 will get cancelled, B1 here minus of minus B1 is plus B1. B1 plus B1 is 2B1 and B2 and minus B2 will get cancelled. Therefore, the resultant is 2B1. Therefore, B1 can be written as I max minus I minimum by 2. And again, if you calculate I max plus I minimum, which means the summation of equation number 1 and equation number 3, I max plus I minimum is equal to. So if you see this equation, ICQ plus ICQ is equal to 2 ICQ, B0 plus B0 is equal to 2 B0, and we know B0 is equal to B2, therefore we can write it as 2 B2. B1 minus B1 will get cancelled, B2 plus B2 is equal to 2 B2. Already we have the 2 B2 plus 2 B2, which is 4 B2. Therefore the equation will becomes 2 ICQ plus 4 B2. From this equation, B2 can be written as I maximum plus I minimum minus this term is going to the left hand side, minus 2 ICQ divided by 4, that is nothing but B2 value. Therefore, this is the equation for B2. So where B2 is the amplitude of second harmonic component. The second harmonic distortion can be calculated as, so distortion of the second harmonic component in percentage, D2 percentage is equal to B2 amplitude of the second harmonic divided by the fundamental frequency amplitude B1 into 100. So in the above derivation, we used the 3 points on the collector current waveform to calculate B0, B1 and B2 values. Hence, this method is called as 3-point method. So in examinations, sometimes they may ask you write about the 3-point method for a calculation of a second harmonic distortion. So this topic is very important in the exam point of view. The important points in this topic are: the distortion changes the shape of the waveform. So, if the shape of the output waveform is not exact replica of the input signal, then that is called as distortion. The distortion changes the shape of the output signal so that the output signal is not exact replica of the input signal. The second point is there are several harmonic distortion components that are present at the output side. Those are second harmonic distortion, third, fourth, fifth. These all are integer values of the fundamental signal. Out of all these harmonic components, the main and major is second harmonic component because it has the largest amplitude. So that's why we have calculated the second harmonic distortion value using the 3-point method. The next topic what we are going to discuss about is the power output due to distortion. When the distortion is negligible, the power delivered to the load is given by PAC is equal to Im square RL by 2. This is what we calculated in the efficiency derivations of a class A, class B type of amplifiers. So, where Im is the peak value of output current. The one peak current can be calculated by the total current from peak to peak divided by 2, which can be written as I maximum minus I minimum by 2. Maximum value minus minimum value divided by 2. But in the last derivation, we calculated the amplitude of the fundamental signal B1 is equal to I maximum minus I minimum by 2. Therefore, instead of Im, we can write B1 in our PAC equation, where PAC is equal to 1 by 2 B1 square RL. So Im square is replaced with B1 square here. If you assume our output have distortion, therefore the equation of AC power delivered to the load with distortion or AC power output with harmonic distortion is given by PAC of D, which is equal to 1 by 2 B1 square into RL plus 1 by 2 B2 square into RL plus 1 by 2 B3 square into RL. So in this equation, 1 by 2 B1 square RL is the AC power of the fundamental signal, and this 1 by 2 B2 square RL is the AC power of the second harmonic, and this is for the third harmonic, and so on. So in this equation, if you take the AC power of the fundamental signal as common, then the equation will become like this. So in this equation, B2 divided by B1, which is amplitude of the second harmonic by the fundamental signal, is nothing but distortion of second harmonic, and B3 divided by B1 can be written as distortion of the third harmonic, and so on. Therefore, this equation can be written as 1 plus D2 square plus D3 square, and so on. Therefore, the equation will becomes AC output power including distortion is 1 by 2 B1 square RL, which is a fundamental AC signal power, plus 1 plus second harmonic distortion plus third harmonic distortion, and so on. So these D2, second harmonic distortion, third and fourth and so on distortions can be written as a distortion. So the equation will become PAC with the distortion is equal to AC power into 1 plus distortion square. So we can say this is the power delivered to the load due to harmonic distortion. Hope you guys understood the topic.